Hello, you thirsty sword lesbians. I'm Klaus, the Dungeon Noob's Guide, and welcome to Amplectere Academy. Once upon a time, there were 1,000 worlds, none knowing of the others, separate. Then, one day, a monster appeared and ripped down the walls between the worlds. It bellowed, "Become one with me," and began taking people, making them its own. However, this beast in its haste had taken down that which separated the people. And there, at the intersection of 1,000 worlds, was a new world connecting them all. Now, on a united front, they fought back, but for every person the monster took, its numbers grew. It seemed hopeless. Then, one day, a brave warrior ventured deep into the space between worlds, the very domain of the beast itself, and returned with a sword forged from her own heart, driving the beast back into the dark and destroying it. Now only its remnants persist, mere pests in comparison. And what once was the front line of a battle is now a place where people come to learn and coexist. A place that certainly has nothing to hide. A place known as Amplectere Academy. Welcome all to this actual play and learn. I am going to be the GM for this wonderful session of the Powered by the Apocalypse game, Thirsty Sword Lesbians. But what is a GM without amazing players? Our freshman students at the Academy. Students, why don't you introduce yourselves?
Hi, my name is Lexi, otherwise known as Black Girl Mage. You can find me over on Twitter and Twitch, where I just talk about D&D and Magic the Gathering and tabletop stuff, and I rate games and all that good stuff. But the only other thing that I guess that you might know me from is the soon-to-premiere Strixhaven all-black HBCU themed game known as the Strix. So I am the DM for that game, and we're about to kick that off. So yeah, I would just recommend going over to Twitch, Twitter. Keep an eye on that.
You should absolutely do that. Don't consider it. Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
go.
You need to stop this video right now. You need to go follow that stuff. Watch that first if it's already out.
Check out StrixU. Your life will be better. I guarantee.
Yeah. Listen, Black History Month doesn't just end in February. It's Black History all the time. And the Strix, there you go.
We're establishing it as we speak.
Brett.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also Lex. I am also known as Titanomachy RPG on Twitter. It's hard to spell, so just go to titanrpg.com because I got a website, very simple website. So go check out titanrpg.com. And all my links are there, all my games. I'm a game designer, primarily indie TTRPG designer. I created Caltrip Core, which is an easy D4 system that you can use to create your own games. And at the time of this recording, over 110 games have been made on Caltrip Core. And that number is set to be much higher because we're about to start a game jam. And if we hit about 200, I feel like that would be absolutely wild and wonderful. So if you've ever thought about wanting to make your own TTRPG, but you didn't know where to start, come check out Caltrip Core. It's also on my website. And tons of people have told me that they made their first game on Caltrip Core, and that just makes me so proud and like hype. And if you're a queer POC game designer, even if it's your first time being a game designer, I also have I just opened the Caltrip Core micro grant. Come apply. There's like no real requirements except being a queer POC designer with an idea for a Caltrip Core game. I will give you $50 just to make the game, and you can spend it on whatever you want. You can just go spend $50 on dinner, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be for the game. I just want to get more people like me, also a queer POC designer, like into the space. And also I have a really cool idea for an anthology one day. That's a long-term project of just queer POC Caltrip Core games. So go check it out. Thanks for having me, Klaus. This is really exciting.
Thank you for being here. And this is the first I'm hearing of some of these things, which is awesome. That's so cool.
I just announced some of them today and yesterday, so I figured we'd talk about it now.
Oh, that's it. People are going to be able to date how long it takes me to edit this now. Crap.
The Game Jam starts on April 5th, 2022, and goes until April 30th, 2022. Depending on when this recording comes out, you'll know how long it took Klaus.
Hi, everybody. I'm Amber, also known as the Space Jamber on Twitter and on Twitch. I call myself the TTRPG Swiss Army Knife because I do everything. I edit, I write, I podcast, I stream, I do stuff like this with Klaus and my friends. And I'm currently working on Flabbergasted, a like comedic crime solving kind of like Faulty Towers kind of goofy TTRPG. I'm editing that for the Wanderer's Tome right now, and I've partnered with folks such as Penny for a Tale and for Necrobiotic. I've partnered with James D'Amato for Skyjacks. I just did the class cheat sheets for 5e with Icarus Games. So, you know, lots of really cool editing projects that I've just finished up or I am in the middle of working on. And I'm open to editing your game too. I'm also on the board for the Foundation for Inclusivity in Gaming, which is a BIPOC and LGBTQ focused nonprofit that seeks to amplify, you know, obviously BIPOC and LGBTQ plus voices in tabletop gaming and beyond. We are currently going through our oh my god, what is it? I always mess up the alliteration. It's magical mythologies or mesmerizing mythologies. I fucked it up so bad. I'm sorry, Kyle. Where every Friday on Play Nerd Allies channel. Let me try that again. I did that. Every Friday on Play Nerd Allies channel, we focus on, we turn the spotlight on another BIPOC creator who talks about their, you know, mythology that's been drowned out by Western civilization and white supremacy. So, and they turn it into a complete 5e adventure or 5e compatible adventure with art and everything. So, if you haven't heard of Fig, go check us out at figforall.org. We are continuing working towards being able to give a year-long grant for $25,000 for a BIPOC creator who fucking deserves it, you know, so they can pay their rent while they work on their game or do whatever. So yeah, very excited to be here. Thank you, Klaus. Thank you, Rusty, the team, because I adore and like admire all of you so much. So I'm excited to be a lesbian with y'all.
Lesbians.
Oh, well, shit. I guess it's my turn. So, hey, everyone. I am Sam here. I'm terrible at this. I'm Sam. I'm here to play games. I'm not cool like everyone else. I just play games.
No, run it back. You are not. False. I'm not going to let you talk bad about yourself like that, Sam. I love you way too much to let that be your intro.
Let's try this again.
Hey.
Take two.
Hey, everyone. I'm Sam. Pleasure to be here as usual. Just here, kicking it with friends, being thirsty space lesbians or sword lesbians or what have you. Regardless, I am a tabletop performer here. You can catch me over on not Twitch. I don't stream. I'm on streams, but I don't stream. But you can catch me on Twitter at Lust for Life. You could probably see it down here in this corner. I had to find it really quick. But yeah, like I said, I perform. You can catch me bi-weekly on Infinite Monkey Tales, playing Avatar Legends. I have a bunch of other really awesome projects that are coming up soon on Utopia's Twitch channel as well. Thirsty Space Lesbians, as well as Bob's Battle Tavern, which is DM'd by this amazing human right up over here on this corner. And also, you will also catch me in Strix U as well once that comes out. So I'm really, really excited and stoked about that. I'm so excited to be here and be playing with these awesome people and be playing on the same side of the table as Lexi instead of causing chaos for her on the DM side. And instead, the both of us, or all of us, can cause nonstop chaos for Klaus. So I'm excited about this and I cannot wait. Thank you.
I honestly can't tell you how excited I am to have these 4 people here. This is the best crew I could have possibly asked for, and I did ask for them, and I got them. So I guess that means I'm cool too. I got dogs jumping around the back.
Damn right.
Yeah. And of course, a quick note for everyone, if you are able to watch along with the video, there will be descriptions of the little Powered by the Apocalypse moves right below me here to help you, and also the dice roller at the bottom center to help you kind of follow along and maybe learn a bit of the system as we go. We'll kind of explain a little bit of how some of the rules work, but mostly I think you'll just kind of absorb it by seeing it, I hope. So, and if you're only able to listen, I hope you enjoy hearing all of our beautiful voices.
Can we do ASMR?
All right. So,
Oh, no.
we begin with the camera pulled out, looking over the massive super city that is Amplectere Academy, an entire city that functions as a university in the space between 1,000 interconnected worlds. Students are here to study all variety of things: alchemy, lasers, magic, math. Everything that you could possibly study is here in the multiverse's greatest melting pot. But our focus today is on one particular classroom in the Planar Studies District. Our camera zooms in past buildings until we find ourselves in a packed lecture hall. Standing at the front is a man whom is only of about 2.5 feet tall, and his face could be described as more mustache than face, as he is pointing to innumerable complicated equations up on the board to a classroom full of blank and overwhelmed faces for their first day of interplanar studies and manifestations. Okay, now, students, of course, as we all know, the academy itself exists within what the layman terms as the beyond, but what we would refer to as the interplanar connective tissues, of course. Now, services such as the city itself, that, the groundwork that Amplectere Academy exists upon, is not naturally occurring within the void space, the beyond. Does anybody know what this space is? I believe we have a native resident of the academy, of the grounds here, someone who's lived their entire life here. And he searches through this ledger of names very quickly until he goes, yes, Parker. Parker Sanjay, I believe you are listed as one of the very few students who is a resident of the academy. So could you tell me in the scientific terms what the land masses within the beyond are called? And our camera whips from him to the center of all of these blank-faced students, all of them turning to focus on Parker. Sam, would you describe Parker for us?
Yeah, sure. So Parker is they're about 5'10", golden brown skin, built kind of like they've been playing basketball their entire life. Just kind of like fit in the arms, kind of lanky and wiry, but still relatively pretty muscular. They have long curly hair that's kind of messy and fussy, kind of scruffy a bit, that's braided to the side, off down, and like hangs over their shoulder. And they have like kind of like the Kim Possible cargo pants, but
Yes.
joggers. So it's like lots of pockets. And like a loose kind of oversized, like baggy button down that's like buttoned just a bit too far down to relatively be school appropriate, but they don't give a fuck anyway. Can we curse? I just realized that.
Yeah.
Okay. Um and they just kind of like are sitting back, scooched as far back in their chair as possible with their feet up on the desk, and their feet are crossed at the ankles with like these rose gold and black uh combat boots, kind of like Doc Martens, essentially. And they're like not even really paying attention to the teacher as the teacher's talking. They just kind of like hear their name and look up and they're like, what?
Yes, Parker, we are looking for what the scientific term is for the land masses, such as the one the Academy sits on, what they would be referred to as. Since I figured as a resident, you may actually know this.
I don't.
Oh, you don't? Well, that's quite all right. Anyone? Does anyone know what this would be called? These students, you've all been sitting in this lecture hall for about 50 minutes at this point, and it has been as dry as a desert as far as interesting topics go. And he stares at all of these blank faces, gives a little sigh of defeat, and eventually hops from the top of the very large desk where he has been teaching to a runner that goes all along the chalkboard, picks up a stick with a piece of chalk on the end, and very skillfully begins to write in one of the few blank spots on the board. It is called a mass interpsychomimetic manifestation. That's right. Write that down. That is going to be on the test tomorrow. It's your first day of class, and he's talking about a test tomorrow. But yes. So a mass interpsychomimetic manifestation. Now, the reason that this exists, as you all, I'm certain, have learned in your history classes, around 100 years ago, the extraplanar hive mind entity known as the luminous. Now, it's not entirely true. The luminant is the main mind. Anyway, it existed within the beyond, and all the worlds that most of us have come from were all separate and didn't know about each other. And the luminous, in wanting to assimilate as many as possible, broke the barrier that divided the world, and all interconnected here in the beyond, a space that exists at a heightened level, and all of the memories and thoughts that all of these consciousnesses in these worlds had collided here and created this. That is why it is a mass interpsycho, so it's between minds. Mimetic, it is sort of within the general social consciousness, or repeated thoughts. Manifestation. All of the different people thinking and connected to the world is what keeps this together. Now, does anybody know what the other kind of manifestation we're all very familiar with would be called? Does anyone know what that other manifestation could be? Carmilla, I'm seeing an eagerness on your face there. Would you like to tell us what the other manifestation is? And a camera once again pans over from the teacher, Professor Hone, and locks in on Carmilla and the many, many faces that have turned toward Faye.
Fair used to, being in the center of the attention, like on stage, but in class, oh no, they just can't help. I mean, Faye just can't help but emote because that's just what Faye does. At least when it's theater time. But fair little cat ears, flatten out to the side. They're like orange with like little tufts on them, and Fair hazel cat eyes just kind of widen, just widen just in shock. Uh, like a slight blush spreads across like underneath the freckles on her face, I mean, on Fair face, and Faye just well, I I don't know. It's just all so much. I'm sorry. Please move to somebody else. I can't deal right now. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm so sorry, dear. You just looked, you looked like there was something in your mind there, and to throw you a bit of a hint, class, you should know that, according to my ledger here, Carmilla would be one of the people capable of creating this second manifestation that we are familiar with. That's
I what?
right. Yes, Carmilla, you are a wielder. You're capable of manifesting a soul blade. Now, perhaps in your culture, they
Yes.
might have different references to it here, and that is perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with it. But yes, class, the soul blades, as they are called, are a type of manifestation. Now, based on the fact that this landmass is called a mass interpsychomimetic manifestation, can anybody guess what a soul blade would be scientifically referred to as? Oh, I believe, let's see, I believe you've written down you'd like to be called, Naru?
I think as the camera pans to her, there's a huge crash and clang as her soul blade like bangs against a desk, against like it just like falls over and creates a big noise right as everyone's attention is on her, and she just looks around. Yeah. You said something about memes. Mimetic memes.
Mimetic. Now that would be what what the landmass here. Now I will tell you that so far as we can tell from studies, soul blades are not necessarily mimetic.
She's a little confused and also like looks like her mind is a million miles away, just thinking about so much stuff. It's less like a blank stare, more of like I've got so much other stuff going on in my head, because Naru, or which is short for Narutina.exe, is a hollow goddess who in her current body, like she has a couple different like shells that she likes to cycle through. And like, so this current one has like blue skin, sort of like you can see at the joints, they're like, you know how like robots in cartoons have the very like prominent like creases that, so it's like sort of like a stylistic thing. She doesn't need to have like big bulky joints on it, but like it's just part of the fashion. She's very fashionable. She's got like blue hair with these like long like sort of like digital glow pigtails that sort of fade off at the end into the ether, and she's got this form is bananas, and like all her forms are pretty bananas, because like you can just, in her culture, you can just sort of like choose which body you inhabit for the day, or like whenever. And so this one is like supposed to be the more low-key version, but it's still so over the top, because it like her thing is like she's a digital pop star sort of deal. So it's like this like bright pink hair and this blue skin, these big eyes, like these little like wings and like a little sprout. It's like if you ever played like Gaia Online or like Mabel Story, and like you were like, and if you got to like find a generator where you didn't have to pay for all the extra goodies, this is what you would design your character to look like. It's just very much like just like so much stuff going on, like fishnet like top, and then like a little like spaghetti strap underneath, and she's like, I ran through all the databases and I found more interesting stuff to think about, so I forgot what your question is, but if you repeat it, maybe I can help.
That perfectly okay. So, because the land masses within the beyond are referred to as mass interpsychomimetic manifestations, your soul blade and all soul blades are actually referred to as micro intrapsycho manifestations. I believe we have one more wielder in class. Perhaps, let's see, Himina. Would you please come to the front of the class and perhaps you could show us what it looks like to manifest your soul blade? Because a soul blade does not continually exist like the grounds on the academy. It is something that they can produce at will, though under stress with some difficulty, but still, I think, Himina, if you wouldn't mind, and you see a wide grin that spreads along the massive mustache as our camera pans over to look at Himina. And Lexi, would you like to describe Himina for us?
Absolutely. Himina is, well, so she is tall and lanky, but very, very lean. Kind of looks like they just like run a lot or participate in a lot of like endurance things than like heavy lifting things to build up muscle. Um, she wears kind of like rebellious punk clothes. She's got just a cool black jacket that has a bunch of patches and things on it. But she also wears a lot of oversized clothes too. Like very Billie Eilish style. Her hair is just like this bright green, but her skin is a deep nightcrawler blue, if that makes sense. But you can barely see any of her skin because she's got everything wrapped up, like in these cool just wraps that go from her arms all the way up her body and only have like kind of a slit for her eyes, and her ears that poke out as well. She wears like a backwards cap as well, and is kind of just like she's paying attention, but she's very much somewhere else when she gets called on. She hears her name the first time, and their first instinct is look up at whoever's talking and immediately smile. But then the second that they realize they're being called on to walk up to the front of class, she's like, yeah, I can do that for you.
I mean, if you could please just show us the manifestation. Now, I know normally you are not allowed to have blades out outside of the Blade campus, but I do have permission from Lady Valia to allow this demonstration in class. Just very careful. I don't know exactly what it looks like. We don't want to lose any eyes here. No protective fields here, I'm afraid.
Of course.
Yeah, you better whip it out.
Information.
I think that you watch as like just brilliant light emanates from her, putting her almost entirely into darkness. She reaches behind herself and pulls out this. It looks like the beginning of a blade, except it begins to turn into a full moon. So it's like it's half a staff, like it's this long of a handle with a full moon. She pulls it out and brings it in front of her, and then with both hands takes them apart, and you actually realize it's two sickles that were just like put together. And the sickles, these like soul blades, the actual blade parts of them, the half crescent part is this deep ultramarine blue that still shines and catches the eye, but it seems very dark to look at. And then the handles are bright gold. But yeah, she'll just kind of do that formation and stand there looking at the professor. Did I do it right?
He smiles and gives a thumbs up. He's like, wonderful. And do take note, class. Not everybody knows this, but some soul blades can in fact be more than one piece. As you see, you hear one voice from the back of the classroom that goes, "Those fucking suck." He is wearing a, like popped collar polo that is most definitely too tight in an attempt to show off his muscles, which is a little generous, but we'll call them that. And he's like sitting back, arms crossed, like, those are like
It's like dumb. Like haven't you even seen like, you know, friggin' like real soul blade wielders, you know, like fucking like Amplectere over in the fucking senior class? No. There's absolutely no need to judge. Everyone's soul blade is unique and it is suited to them.
I want to say, because like we at least know each other as roommates, right? We live in the same place, and this is like, you know, maybe first day of class, but that means we've spent some time together. And like Naru is absolutely running. I'm imagining, so like I did describe how small she is, but I'm imagining like 5'3" tops this shell is, and just a massive. If you've seen if you play Transistor, it's the Transistor sword, which is like big and blocky. It's huge, and it's got like that big red gem in the middle, and it's all this like electronic computerized green. The rest of the blade. I'm going to run across the desks and then get up to him and on the way summon my soul blade and just put it under his chin. And so, but also like I'm holding it reverse grip so that I can actually also get close, because it's a big ass sword and I can't, it's like, it's a weird reach thing. So I'm like sort of like holding it up here and with the sword's edge, like the flat edge of it under his chin, and just go, you want to try that again?
Yeah, I think that Jimena is also watching their friend do that. Will like clasp the sickles together, and you see they actually are slotted to go together, and they create the full moon again. And she will literally throw it like a dart, so that it just barely goes past this dude's like face. It gets really, really close though, and just like shrugs and goes and sits down.
I'm gonna say, Lex, what do you think Naru's goal is here? Are you just trying to like thoroughly frighten this person, figure them out? Because I could see this maybe being a fight role or possibly a figure out a person kind of role, but fight doesn't necessarily have to be physical harm. You're just trying to mentally scare this person, perhaps.
Cool. Yeah, I don't care who this guy is. The second he opened his mouth, he became less than a person to me. And so definitely a fight, and it works because I took a playbook move in the Hollow Goddess where I can roll Spirit to fight instead of Daring, and that's part of my kit. And so Spirit, as I understand it, is a like sort of charisma, sort of like presence. It says integrity and metaphysical power, which are cool words, but I actually don't know what that really means.
I love that.
That's what the description is on the Roll20, but am I sort of explaining that correctly? Is that
absolutely
right?
Yes, that sounds perfect. So give me a roll with Spirit and let's see just how you do. Oh yeah, that is that is an upbeat full success. And so you may pick 3 and the opponent will pick 1.
So I'm looking through the options on fight, and so there's flirt with or provoke your opponent and gain a string on them. Through violence or cutting words, inflict a condition. Create an opportunity for an ally through prowess or distraction. Take an object from your opponent or seize a superior position. So I get to choose 3?
You get to choose 3. With a 10, you may pick 3.
So first of all, I'm definitely going to create an opportunity for an ally through prowess or distraction, so that Lexi's attack might have a better chance of doing whatever it is that they want the attack to do. My second one is I want to inflict the frightened condition on him, and then does he have a weapon on him that he
does not.
fiddling with? Okay.
Normal students do not have any kind of weapon, no means of doing anything like that. So,
because I do like this: take an object from your opponent or seize a superior position. I'll choose that, and then I guess I can ask the GM to decide what that means.
Absolutely. I mean, you have the superior position of you're above this person. He cannot do anything to react to this at this point. You absolutely have taken full control of this situation. And yeah, he is terrified and afraid. And since Himina also threw her soul blade and everything, would you also like to roll me a fight check?
Yeah, I do. Okay, let's see.
Do they get anything from my?
Oh yes, they get to pick one. They and their name is Chad. Chad
Chad.
is
I knew
Of
it.
course.
I literally
Of
wrote
fucking
down Chad
course.
in my notebook. I'm not even joking.
I had to.
Wrote
It's too
Chad.
easy. Chad is taking a string on you because they know just a little something about you now. What gets you and what causes you to react. So yeah. Jot that
Cool.
down on my
I
desk
was.
notes.
That's good to remember. I was asking, does Lexi get anything because I chose create an opportunity
Right.
through for an
Oh
ally.
yeah.
Did
So
she get-
Lexi, please get a +1 bonus to that, please.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Just a one.
I think while
Oh,
all this is
so sad.
happening, Parker's just like leaning further back in their chair and they're like, fucking finally this class has gotten interesting.
First day. First day.
This entire time, Carmilla's actually just like composing a musical about this, like in her notebook. Fair doesn't
There's
really.
so much.
Faye doesn't really give a shit about like what's going on. They're just like, okay, all right. So like, okay, then we have this song, yeah, a good villain song. Yep. Mhm. And like their cattail, they have like a orange ringed cattail, like, and it's just like flicking back and forth as fair writing. Yeah, and like, oh, okay, here. And then they also like Faye also have their little grandma cardigan like hunched up and over as they're writing. They're just like, okay, all right, writing bubble. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening right now.
All right. Well, mark an experience for yourself, Lexi, because Himina got a downbeat. And as
Yeah.
you threw this, trying to wing it right by him to scare Chad, it comes just a teeny bit too close, and you see it slices right by his cheek. And he is too afraid to put a hand up, because he's got a sword under his chin and everything. But you see a trickle of blood go down, and you hear this stomp on the desk as Professor Hone says, "De-manifest those blades at once!"
You never let us have any fun. This is the most interesting class it's been so far.
I put my hands up and I poof it into like digital like ones and zeros that fade into the ether. Normally I would keep going. I don't care, but I don't want my friend to get in trouble more. So I'm just gonna, I'll demanifest it right away.
I'll just go, yeah, all right. And super tall, I stand up and I just like hold out my hand and it retreats like fully boomerang into my hand. And with one motion, I will just like bring it around my head and it's gone.
Bet you'll watch your fucking mouth next time, won't you, Chad?
Naru, Himina, I'm afraid you're both going to have to report to the Blade Master after conduct like that. That is not allowed in class. These are normal students. Chad, please go to the nurse's office. Naru and Himina, I will be checking in with the Blade Master. I believe next she is going to be in the sword fighting class. Report to her immediately.
Carmilla immediately decides to pivot the villain song to be about the professor instead.
Yes. Look, where I'm from, if you talk shit, you get hit. That's
You get
that's
hit.
it. That's all it is.
Period.
The law. It's
Don't-
literally the law.
Don't open your mouth if you ain't got shit to say.
Yep.
It's true.
Or better yet, don't open your mouth if you don't have shit to back it up.
That's what
And
I'm
I think
saying.
Parker like steps out of their chair, but like scoots back a bit too far and just knocks over. They don't care. And just like walks over to Yamena and is like, I appreciate the showmanship. And then just keeps walking.
I thought
To
it was on
appear
purpose.
cool. to appear cool, I knock over somebody's thing, and
Good job.
Yep. You would all notice that Chad, upon leaving the room, seems to have his bag in front of his pants, as if to perhaps hide some bit of fear-based shame as he rushes to the nurse's office. But he most definitely gives a very dirty eye to both Jimena and Naru. He gives the kind of dirty eye that only a spoiled rich asshole can give.
Yeah. Is there like a basic move for me starting a rumor that Chad pissed himself?
It's not a rumor.
You don't have to. I'll do it myself. Why are you holding your bag in front of yourself like you pissed on yourself?
Oh,
I didn't. I've just loaded my bag.
I pissed on yourself.
I thought that he was maybe a little bit too excited by the events.
Oh yeah.
What?
You're
No.
right.
Fuck that. You all fucking creeps. Fucking creeps.
No, I mean, you're the one that started a fight in class. I'm sorry.
I didn't start a. It was just.
And then pissed on yourself.
I didn't piss
After you
myself.
started the fight.
Look, if you if you can't take the heat,
Where the
get
fuck
out of
is
the
your soul
interplanar
blade?
kitchen.
You had so much shit to say. Where the fuck is your soul blade?
Fucking don't need one because I'm fucking tough without one.
Oh, I'm sorry. You don't have tough. Piss baby, are you sure about that?
Piss baby.
Piss baby. I like that. Piss baby. That's a
Oh,
nice ring
piss
to
baby
it.
Chad. Okay. Yeah,
Piss
you get on with
baby
your life,
Chad.
piss baby Chad.
You're gonna hear from my mom
We'll be
about
crossing
this.
swords.
I'll make sure I tell her next.
He storms
Damn.
out of there. He is like bolting out of the building and down the hall.
Parker's gonna fuck your mom, dude.
You damn right.
They already have it.
Make you my stepson, bitch.
I love this. I love Parker. I worship at the altar of Parker. Holy shit, this is amazing.
I really want to just take a moment and take in this tableau because it's like two tall, like very like just so cool. And I'm 5'3" in this body. And just like trying to be like being like the hype person, but like so like you would need a different like aspect ratio to capture both what's going on in the top where like the tall people are having words and where I'm having words.
It's like big dog, little dog.
Yeah.
They're gonna fuck your mom. Yeah.
She said she didn't want no pickles.
Oh my god, this is gonna be the
God.
best game ever.
I agree.
Sword Mastery is your next class, a class that is solely for wielders of soul blades.
Finally.
And it is out kind of in a open lawn area. You can see kind of this massive park around, but in the center there is this arena about the size of a football field. It's got basically, it looks like kind of cobblestone, but with pillars that are up and around here and there. You can see dips and rises. It is meant to simulate a battlefield with all of the possible obstacles in it. And up above it, you can see this kind of massive arcane. It almost kind of looks like a what's the wind thing? The thing with the rooster on it that the wind blows it in a direction. I'm forgetting the name.
Weather
or
vane.
Windmill?
Weather vane.
A weather
Thank you.
vane.
Weather vane.
Yep. Almost like
So
a
many
like
pop punk songs about weather vanes.
Yeah.
it's almost like a like 5-tiered arcane weather vane that's spinning around and kind of shooting these beams of light out over this field. You've all heard that there are these kind of protective fields that essentially can negate lethal injury, but they are very hard to produce. So they are only within kind of these training grounds. And as you get there, you can see that there is a second group of 4 people there that you would assume is from the other freshman class. They are the second freshman house of students all there, and they are waiting, and standing in front of them with looking at like a tablet is a woman that looks like she is probably about 70 years old. She is maybe about 4.5 feet high and almost as wide. Pure muscle. For 70 years old, she looks like she could punch a tree in half if she wanted to. And she
Mommy?
has
Sorry.
Mommy, sorry,
Mom?
sorry.
Sorry, did you say mom?
Sorry.
You said
What?
mommy? Okay.
Mommy?
Mommy? Sorry, what?
She's wearing mostly long sleeves, but down near the forearm, you can see all down the top of her forearm, it looks like plates of stone. And she has just this very stern,
Definitely
stoic
mommy.
expression as she stares at this tablet, sticks it into her back pocket, and glares at the four of you heading in this direction and says, "Which one of you is Naru and Zemina?"
Yeah,
Over
At
here.
least say her name right.
it's okay.
Excuse me?
longer mommy.
Other person. What was that?
Mommy card revoked.
You could say their name correctly.
Parker,
Was
it's-
that
it's
clear
It's
enough?
okay. Everyone, my name is a fluid thing. It's
Parker
Parker's
just kinda
right.
said
I'm
that.
sorry.
How would you-
Parker's right.
Yeah,
Um,
Parker's right, and also your mommy card's been revoked. I'm not sorry about that.
She
Cops can't be
will
moms.
like walk up to Carmilla after the mommy card revoked. She like just stares at you, doesn't look angry, doesn't look happy, and she goes, "I'll get over it."
mm.
And then she looks directly at Himina and she gives a slight nod and says, "Apologies. How might I pronounce your name?"
It's Hamina or Jimena.
Himina?
Everyone.
It is very nice to meet you, Himina. You
Great to meet you,
realize you injured a student and manifested your blade outside of the College of Blades campus.
I mean,
Are we aware of what the first rule in your student packet is?
I'm aware, but I wasn't the one who broke the rule. I was told to manifest my soul blade, and honestly, anything that happened after that wasn't really in my jurisdiction.
A, I do not care what Professor Hone says. Don't do it. And I'm going to guess he did not tell you to hurl a dangerous weapon at a little piss pants idiot rich boy.
You were correct on that last part.
Yeah.
What it sounds like is we actively are able to ignore and disobey the faculty of this luckily administration.
That's kind of what I'm
No.
hearing over here.
It's exactly
You
what
will-
it sounded like to me.
You will ignore Professor Hone if he instructs you to break one of the rules I have established for the College of Blades. The rules for the college supersede other professors, unless I or the one person above me, Headmaster Lady Valier, gives you permission.
Oh,
Yeah.
Didn't he say Valier let you do it? Didn't he say he got special permission? That's what I
Pretty
heard.
sure
I broke
that
the
was
I'm
rule.
right.
You
pretty
can't be
sure
mad at
that's
Hamina.
exactly what it
That
was.
was-
That's
Yeah.
on me.
Okay.
I mean,
okay.
That's me.
Listen, I'm
Look.
sorry that I cut and did the thing.
You attacked
But
a student out of
I
anger
didn't attack.
because
I
he
misfired.
let some dumb
student.
words come stumbling out of his dumb fuck mouth.
You got a
Yeah.
little upset
Look.
when we asked the question earlier. So, like, do words not mean things then? Should we not be affected, or are we allowed to be affected by words that frustrate and anger us?
Yeah, I'm getting mixed messages.
Do you want us to feel feelings or not?
I can perform the song that I wrote about this so you can get a better idea of what happened.
Well,
We will
Later
not
on.
be performing any
on.
songs in your sword mastery class. And Parker,
yeah.
I know your type. You like to find
Do you
little
now?
ways
Your
to take
type?
words out of context and twist things around. But I like
All
to
I'm
think
asking
I'm
for
a
is
pretty
clarification.
straightforward lady.
What do you mean, you people?
Who said you people?
I'm not
Who said
taking any
what?
words out of context. All I'm doing is repeating the words you said to me and making sure that there's no double line or meaning in between them. I'm
Yeah.
just a student here who is trying to make sure that all rules are abided by and are followed. Should I attack somebody? Should I not? Should I listen to words? Should I not? Should I follow instructions or should I not? It's an open table, honestly. I mean, none of this really, yeah, not too much sense being made here. I just wanted clarification. That was all.
I understand that what I did was not within the school's, rules or whatever. I was standing up for myself. Kind of just want to learn how to throw swords around. So if we could get on with whatever consequences there are, I'd be fine.
Yeah, I accept the consequences. I don't regret this at all.
I got a date after this class, so if we could like wrap this up.
Oh my God, tell me everything about them. Just fully turn my back to the teacher and be like, tell me everything.
I'm still standing there directly looking the teacher in the eye, like looking down at the teacher. Like still like, yeah, I'll accept whatever.
Naru and Himina, you broke the rules of the College of Blades.
Mhm.
I will be discussing with Lady Valir what that punishment will entail. Until then, I think that this class could stand to start with a demonstration. And since we have two people who are so eager to show off their blade skills,
Not their fault.
They were
their
provoked.
self-control is their fault. They are responsible for themselves and for obeying the rules of the College of Blades. I don't care if that boy makes them angry. A lot of boys like that will make you angry, and you can't pull a weapon on all of them. They're dummies, and they're defenseless little babies.
I agree.
You are the
yeah.
four of you are extremely
Whoa.
powerful.
Some hostility
You are
there. Base.
incredible people with incredible abilities. Otherwise, you would not be here.
This I know.
And something, power and responsibility. Use a little common sense. Don't attack other students. Now, Himina,
Mm-hmm.
why don't you step into the battlefield? Now note the rules of the battlefield and sword mastery training. The battlefield will negate any lethal injuries. It will not negate pain. But that is something that as a wielder you must learn to deal with. If your opponent steps outside of the field, you are not to continue attacking. Falling outside of the field is a loss.
That was way more clear than the instructions you gave earlier, but thank you.
I think something that I want to get across is that Himina can be like very, very angry in these moments, but like the second that authority comes into things, she's like, I understand. Yep, I get it. The second that she's asked to step into the ring, she will take off her black, like I think it's leather jacket. It's a leather jacket with a bunch of pins and painting on it. She'll
Nice.
take that off, and you see that underneath she's wearing like a black tank that just says it's purely black, but it has in yellow letters, yellow. And you see her arms are very, very lean and toned. But once again, you can only see the shape of that by all of the bandages wrapped around as she just like steps into the ring.
Since you think you're so hot to be whipping your blade around, I think for a first opponent, you can have your shot against me. And she steps into the arena on the other side. She looks at you and says, there will be a countdown. And after the word go, do whatever you can, dear. And you see
Ooh.
that she steps into the arena and slams her hand through the stones of the arena floor and drags up a sword that is about 5 feet long and 2 feet wide. That seems to be made of glimmering granite. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hamina immediately. Oh, she's not going to call her soul blades out yet. I think that she is just going to. She's going to wait. I think she's going to wait to see what the teacher does first, and watch her movements so that she can react to whatever. Like, not proactively like rush in and do anything. She's going to react.
She sees you like wait there for a few seconds and then says, "Don't have all day for this class, dear." And she swings her sword faster and faster above herself and grinds it into the ground, shooting it up, and a spray of stones comes flying at you.
I lean over to to Dot and Carmela, and I'm like, I think she might have got that mommy card back.
Yeah, she's working on it.
Yeah, that might be a thing.
Yep. I would say at this point,
she's-
unless you want to get hurt, you will have to defy disaster.
Definitely defy disaster. Okay, so I think that I'm going to be using might, like the daring, just because I think that no, actually I think it would be grace. Because I
Okay.
think because I'm reacting, it's way less of a like who's stronger here. It's way more like how quickly can I get past this?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
clicked on the wrong thing. Grace, let's do it. What I get?
That is a mixed beat. So
Okay.
you, let's see. So you're averting imminent danger. Oh, I forgot to ask, what are you willing to sacrifice?
Oh,
Ooh, that's a question. What do you mean?
You are basically choosing, would you sacrifice people's opinions of you? Would you be sacrificing your physical well-being? Are you willing to sacrifice like a condition even I allow?
Yeah, I think physical condition. I think that she more than anything wants to keep her wraps on for reasons that we know, but no one else does. And so I think her taking off the jacket and revealing all of her wrappings is like her kind of being vulnerable, and she wants to fight and come out of this. She wants to come out of this looking exactly the same way she went into it.
All right. Well, with a mixed beat, I'm gonna let you can avoid taking a taking a blow and having to stagger. If you are willing to sacrifice that these rocks knock away some of your bandages, revealing yourself. Otherwise, I'm gonna say that you may have to deal with a stagger move.
I'm gonna sacrifice the bandages. So like I just assume the bandages come and I like move out of the way, but there's one that's flying particularly fast and just slices through the ones on my arm, just revealing some of my arm.
All right, so that's been knocked off. It is up to you. What would you like to do next after this has happened?
How many moves am I allowed to do in one turn? So if I did a fight move, like if I tried to fight, that's one thing. But what if I did my like Mask of Many Faces thing?
So
that
anytime,
work?
and I mean, I don't really have turns per se. Everything I do is in
Yeah.
reaction to what you're doing. And so basically it's just the lower your result, the more I get to do. So it
Nice.
is up to
Okay.
you. It is very much under your control how you want to go about this, what order you want to tackle things in.
Okay. So I think first thing I would like to do, while everyone is looking at me, I think that
Do we see what's under the wrapping on that arm?
yeah.
yeah, so you see, so her skin is still like ultramarine, just this deep kind of blue greenish, but you see like ancient tattoos all down her arm.
Ooh,
Yeah.
cool.
If anything, it looks like either the beginning or the end of a saga of a story, like being told on her.
Ooh,
on
so
her
are they
arm.
fresh? Like, is that why they're wrapped, or are they wrapped for purpose?
They don't look fresh.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that what I'm gonna do is try to, if I can, take some of the is okay. So she like shattered the ground beneath us, right?
Yep, she basically her sword like just raked up the stone floor and lobbed pieces of it at you.
Perfect. I would like to kind of do a move where I reach down, and if there's dust or something on the ground, or like residue of where the ground shattered beneath us, take that and spin around, throw it in her eyes before I launch at her.
Ooh.
All right. So do you have a specific playbook move that might fit that? Otherwise, I would say it is probably along the lines of a fight.
It's fight. I think it's also similar to Slippery. Slippery says that I'm hard to pin down and easily slip through most restraints and barriers. But I can gain the element of surprise if I would like to.
See, you're almost kind of enticing. You're trying to get her in a
Yeah.
position that you want. So I'm going to say go for an entice roll with this one. You're trying to
Perfect.
gain an upper hand on him. So.
Another 7.
Another 7. All right. So, you can gain a string on Grisha, and unless they choose one of these things, and I'm going to say, she does not. She is not going to choose one. So you may gain a string on Grisha that you could potentially spend in order to get a bonus against her. So.
Okay. Perfect. So I will gain a string on her, and then so I click on that in my sheet, correct?
Yep,
Like,
and there's a
check.
part on the side where you can add people's names and keep track of strings. If you get, I believe it's 4 strings on someone, you can actually gain an experience point from that and learn something deep about them. Or, as I'll show right here, you can influence with a string. So you can spend a string to add 1 to your roll against them, add or subtract 1 from any roll they make. That's if it's another PC, of course. Find out what it would take to get them to do what you want, or offer them an XP to do something.
Okay. Gotcha. So how successful was my Dust in the Eyes move with a mixed beat?
With the mixed beat, so that just meant that she had to make a choice. She was either going to get like flustered and give in, or she was going to give you a string.
Okay.
She held pretty strong to this and basically got up and covered her eyes. But she seems unfazed by this.
Ooh, I feel like I would like to try to spend a string.
All right, so you're going to spend it
find-
to add 1 to your roll, or?
Okay. Would it be better to, not better, more wise to add 1 to the roll, or to find out what I have to do to get them to do what I want, which is to concede? I want her to concede.
Ooh.
I will say from a glance, she's a very stubborn woman, and she seems to want you to fight. So finding out what it'd take to get them to do what you want, you feel like it's probably fight. So
Yeah.
I'll give you that one for free.
Perfect. So I will spend I'll spend a string to add 1 to my roll. So I will call on my soul blades, because it seems like that's what's happening here. And then I will just go to like throw one and then throw the other and hope that they cross at the same exact point.
See as hell. Let's go.
So-
Yeah, so
Let's
you get to
go.
choose
Let's
3.
go.
Hell yes.
Let's fucking go, Lexi.
Amazing. Okay, so I think that Oh, should I? That's so funny. I think I want to invoke like I would like to inflict the frightened condition on her of me.
Okay.
Um like whatever she sees before the blades like cross and hit her.
Yep. Well, I'll say
I want
normally,
her
That's
to
so
get
I've
great.
usually played, I get to kind of decide which condition, but it will give you
Oh
kind of
yeah,
insight to how they are dealing with this.
perfect. Yeah, so I will just like to through violence inflict a condition. I would like to seize a superior's position. So maybe just like move somewhere where she can't see. I don't know what that exactly would look like, but something like that.
Mhm.
And then I would like to provoke her and gain another string.
Perfect. All right, so you gain a string. You are inflicting the angry condition on her.
Mm.
Yay.
Um, and she gets to pick one as well. And the one she is going to pick is to inflict a condition on you because as you gain this higher ground, you see that she just like standing there holding her sword facing up, flips it so it's facing down and just jams it in the pillar you've jumped on top of. And you see her just start to push it up so the pillar starts to tip. And so you
Ooh.
take whatever condition you feel like that would give you, as she is like barely reacting to any of this.
I feel like it's like frightened, or I feel like it's frightened probably. I
All
don't
right.
think she's actually. The problem is, I don't think she's actually afraid, but I don't think she's like angry or guilty. Um, so probably frightened.
All right. So that pillar is starting to tip a little bit. What would you like to do? I wouldn't say that it's necessarily you're not in like full on danger mode at this point in time, but
Hmm.
yeah.
So her sword is preoccupied by being in the pillar, correct?
Yes, at the moment.
I would like to jump down from the pillar and just kind of like, if I can, either jump onto her or like put her in a position where she has to let go of her sword
Alrighty.
entirely.
I definitely feel that sounds like a fight to me. So give me a little fight roll. And while she's doing that, what are the rest of you kind of doing as this is happening, watching this? I'd love to. Where the camera pans to the sidelines, where you and the other freshman class are all like staring, watching this.
I'm definitely like trying to talk to Dot. Like, okay, so if you were to put this on stage, I mean, like, would you put this like would we have like the flying ropes going and like jumping? I'm just trying to imagine this. Like, is this like Peter Pan? Like, I'm just I want this to look I want this to be my masterpiece.
Oh,
This has to be the climax.
if you want it to be your masterpiece, you should get all actors from my place, from my plane, because we can just like swap in and out of bodies really easy. And like, there's a couple. They have like some theater rigged ones that have like just spring boots in them, and you don't need to do any rigging. They just have like, I mean, the actor has to be good at using that sort of shell, but I think that could be really cool. You could have like all, and then like you could even have one person play all the roles. That would be wild. I can't do that. That's beyond my capabilities. But
What if we had two people play 23 roles?
we could. Oh my god, this is incredible.
Yes.
And then I think they're chatting. I think every so often Naru or Dot is also okay. I don't know if did I say that earlier on. I know
Yeah,
I said
you
it
did.
off camera.
Oh,
But like, so Narutina.exe, Dot is her middle name, like literally the word Dot, so people can call her Dot, and is like looking over at Parker every so often to see like if Parker's like having fun too, like in our conversation. But I feel like, what is Parker look doing?
After a while, Parker got really fucking bored with all of this. Like, there's no bloodshed. Like, everyone's just playing around. Like, it was cool at first, and now they're bored. So, like, I think they just kind of like pop out a headphone and are just like, again, probably like have like their feet kicked up on the back of like Carmela's chair, and just is like on their phone and is just like texting like at any point in time. If I can get the fuck out of here, that'd be perfect. Nothing about this is fun. It's fucking waste of time.
Klaus, are we teenagers or are we adults?
Yeah, you're college age.
Young.
Parker, Parker, I have a question. Do you think that this is like some kind of mating ritual?
God, I hope so.
I think Parker kind of like sits back and like laughs a bit internally for a second and goes, I mean, I've done weirder, so.
You would notice that one of the other freshmen who has been wearing this massive black cloak, hooded, covered up and everything, they have kind of like sat down kind of near you and have flipped out their phone and are flicking through it. You see that they have a very thin hand covered in a fine pitch black hair, basically a fur. And as they're flicking through their phone, they talk, you know, not even facing you, but just say like, your friend's gonna be hurting.
Excuse me, do I fucking know you?
Dear God, the energy, Sam, the energy.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yep, she does not look
Immaculate.
towards you, and she just says, nope.
So you're talking to me, why? Well, I think we'll worry about that.
All right.
I'm
Just-
gonna turn around in the middle of my conversation and be like, "You picked the wrong person to talk to. You have a judgment." Actually, clearly, I'm not more friendly either because I just did that.
Yelled at a
But,
stranger.
but Carmilla is cool. Carmilla's really nice. If you want to make a friend, Carmilla's probably your best bet in
That's
our group. We're not very-
definitely the best bet.
I'm not
if you
interested
wanted
in
to talk to
friends.
somebody.
Okay, then never mind.
Oh,
You
all right, then yeah, this is the worst group to talk to.
Oh, hey, what's your name?
Serica,
Where are you from?
Phonos. You would be aware that Phonos is, because I do recall that Naru had a good amount of knowledge about like other worlds and stuff. So Naru, I'm going to say you have heard of Phonos, and it is called the Sunless World. It is typically very, very dark there. They do not have they have no natural big light sources.
Can I see their face at all?
As you
Under
try
the
and
cloak?
look, it looks like there's even a black mesh sewn over the front of the hood.
Oh, I've heard of Phonos. Did you like growing up there?
So
Yeah,
we're
it's
having this
real
conversation.
blast.
All right.
Fun place. Hey, your friend's not having a great time. And as we say that,
flying
the
down.
camera pans back over where we see Himina leaping down, and Grisha
I rolled a
simply
3.
yeah. Grisha
Oh,
lets go of her
no.
sword, and as you're coming down with these blades, she stops you by grabbing both of your blades with her hands and sets you down in front of her. From Grisha, you will take 2 conditions for this.
Cool.
Yep, you can decide which 2 conditions you're taking from this.
Oh, I'm angry as hell, and I feel like I'm a little insecure now.
You tap out.
And because I'm insecure and I'm willing to do something rash, I think I'm gonna lean forward. She has both my hands. I'm gonna try to lean, like let go of my blades and just like elbow to the face.
Ooh, yes. All right, give me a fight roll for that. And that's 100% daring.
That's
There's no grace
rad.
to this. It's so daring.
Parker is like, fucking finally, yes,
Yes.
that's what I'm talking about.
No.
So,
Are you marking down
You-
experience for
wait.
all this?
yeah, right.
Yeah,
Mark,
sure.
yeah,
You
you've
want
got
me to
two,
do that?
two experience.
And can't you spend a string to give yourself +1? Did you successfully
right.
get a string
Yes.
last
Right?
time?
Do
Right?
it.
Right?
So you have 1 string on her because you spent
Oh.
1, right? You have 2.
Seven.
So
I
you
I
could
should have
bump it up
2.
to a
So I
seven.
could
Well, you
spe-
gained
I
one
could spend
before
one.
from your previous fight check where you did good. You did gain a string. You could spend that string on her if you
Yeah,
I'm
wanted
gonna
to
do
use
that
it
and
on.
just get up to 7.
Absolutely.
All right, so that is not a downbeat, so no experience for that one. But what 2 options are you going to pick?
I would love to. I think I would like to I'm not gonna flirt with a 70-year-old, am I?
Absolutely.
Oh, I forgot she was 70. I was imagining her as like a nice 35.
Okay, I think I'm not gonna flirt. I think I'm just gonna provoke. I'm gonna provoke.
Okay, good.
And gain a string on her, while also I would like to take an object.
The only thing she has on her, because her sword is buried in the side of a pillar at the moment, the only other thing she has on her, she does have a locket.
That's a locket. There's information in there.
What if she's also a lesbian?
I'll
She
say
definitely is.
so. Then
And we
to
get to see
provoke her,
these.
oh yeah, to provoke her, I'll say, "What's that?" And then the second that she looks down, already have it in my hands and be like this. Hold it up.
Icon.
I am in love.
This is the Black Girl Mage, everybody.
The
As you say that to her, and you're like, look what I got, holding it up with that hand, you suddenly try and move your other hand and feel a resistance and see that she is holding on to the end of your bandages and holds it up looking at you. And
Damn.
she has it to a point where she could unravel part of it just like a loose sweater string. Did you take a string on her or no?
I did.
You did? So I will let you see, since you took a string on her, you notice the barest little break in her stoic expression, and you notice she smirks, and she's kind of impressed by you.
Yes.
Nice. Are we gazing deeply into each other? No, we're not. I kind of want to figure her out.
You can absolutely try and figure her
during
out.
combat, though.
I wanna-
No, figuring out during combat is a very big part of this game, actually. It's
I would very much
Yeah.
like to do that right now and like try to see what's going on. Now, I have a move that's called Trust in Me, but it's when you gaze deeply into someone's eyes as you entice them. You may ask one question from figure out a person. So I'm wondering, is it better to entice or figure out a person?
I think it more
But-
depends on like what your intent, what your character's
Yeah.
intent is, and then we can choose the right one. What do you want? Like, I think it's like whatever you want to do is cool.
I mean,
Also,
if-
enticing doesn't have to be sexual. Enticing, you
Yeah.
can
Oh,
entice
yeah.
somebody to,
You
like,
could like taunt her into making a
do
mistake
something.
that you can
Yeah.
take,
Right.
you know, something like that. Like,
I kind of want her to get awkward so that I can take advantage of that and then knock her over.
All right,
Okay,
give
so
me that roll.
entice. And I can spend my string after I roll, right?
Yeah, I let that go, yeah.
Ooh.
Let's go.
Ooh, don't even have to.
yes.
So
What is
you
up?
absolutely gain a string on her. She is going to, holding on to your little bandage and everything, she is going to give in to a desire. And that desire is she lets the bandage go and she goes, good match.
Oh my
She
god.
holds out her
Oh
hand
my
for the
God.
locket.
Yeah, okay.
yeah, you gotta-
And I'll just drop the locket into her hand.
She takes the locket, kind of looks at it, tucks it in a pocket, looks at you for a second, and says, first day. Suppose we can let a little first day mistake slide by. I don't think Lady Valier needs to hear about this, huh?
You and me both.
Carmilla like sings to herself. She's got, I mean, Fave got like their little notepad. It's, and I got one hand on my locket and the other one's getting a bandage here. Yep.
Yes!
I have never loved a person more than I love you at this moment in time,
Yes.
right now. Because I was just singing that song yesterday. God, that's so perfect.
That I don't know what you're
So
talking about.
perfect.
That's a Carmilla original.
That's original composition. YouTube
Yeah.
cannot, the no DMCA
Fuck
copyright.
you, Warner Music. I took new media law. I got a D in it, but I passed.
Hey, D's
Yes,
get degrees.
Honey, D's
D's
get
get
degrees.
D's get
Are we
degrees.
lowering the grade? Are we lowering it now? I thought it was C's.
C's is the new update. D is the old school one where we used to say
Oh,
that.
gotcha.
As that wraps up, the rest of you would hear this hooded person, Serica. They kind of look up from their phone for a second and go, huh, damn. She fucking held her own. Still, would have liked to see a little more action in there.
She'll probably ask me to fight. Do you want to fight me next?
I'm talking a mighty big game. Can you back
I mean,
it up?
maybe you could fight Parker. I feel like Parker wants some excitement.
Parker has a date. Parker could give a fuck less about any of this.
You don't want to get sweaty before your date. I get
Yeah, no, it's a lot of work. Oh shit. What is her name? Hold on.
Oh, it's that kind of date. Okay.
it. Which which interplanetary dating app.
Is there an Amplectere Academy version of Lex, the dating app?
Definitely. As you're saying that and everything, and there's talk, and Grisha, the Blade Master, kind of comes back. Her sword looks like it crumbles into rocks and then dust and is gone. All right. Now, next up, we are going to have, and as she says that, you all hear doo, 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 ringing out through the city. And you hear this voice say, "Will all students please report to the main courtyard of the College of Blades. There is a special announcement. It's during my class. It's their first day. Fine. Go."
Does Grisha look like she knew this was happening?
She looks a little surprised, but not.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
she has that look of like, really? Right now? That's when?
I'm gonna take the bandages off the ground that were kind of cut and just kind of. Actually, I probably have more bandages in my backpack, so I'll probably just like walk over to my friends in my backpack, pull it on, and put on my jacket and start wrapping up my arms.
I probably help with the bandages too. I feel like this form, like the blue metal or whatever my shell is, it's like antimicrobial, so it's like I can just sort of help you with wraps without having to like go wash my hands or something.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay.
Thanks though. Your metal's cool.
Thanks. Can I say your tattoos are cool? I'm like whispering, your tattoos are cool. Because you don't want to draw attention to them, but okay, I'll go now.
Again, fucking stellar, Jimena.
That was so
You did
cool.
to hold your own like that with a professor is just, you're so powerful.
I think
So
any of
cool.
us could do that easy.
Hey, you know what? Amber, why don't you roll me emotional support for that one? Because
Okay.
Aw, I have conditions.
our dear Jimena has a few conditions. Oh yeah, you did do a rash
Yeah.
thing, so you cleared insecure.
Yeah.
You're good on that one.
Elbow to the face.
Okay, plus heart or spirit. Ooh, I have a +1 in heart. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're so powerful. I mean, you held your own against Chad, that piece of shit, and then
Pissed baby.
You didn't have to
He
do
is
much
a piss
against
baby.
Chad, though, but
Make piss babies bleed. 2020. Wait, what year is it? make
3,000.
oh man. Well, okay. So it's a mixed beat, but I still get to you still get to choose clear condition, mark experience, gain +1 forward. So
If they open up.
if you open up.
Oh no. Yeah, I think she would open
like-
up to you.
Yeah, you don't have to like fully open up and give your whole story, but
Yeah.
acknowledge it and kind of, in whatever way
Yeah.
you find appropriate. I would count that,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I don't know. I used to fight a lot like that with my family, so
Oh,
I think it's more. I don't know. I think all of us could take on anyone that came our way, but a lot of it's about being reactive rather than proactive.
sometimes reactions help move our story along.
my whole life is basically spent just being reactionary in one way or another, and it's gotten me this far. I'll go on ahead and say it works.
I'm just gonna scream in the middle of this group huddle. We're gonna make so many Chads piss themselves.
Yeah.
I cannot wait.
Jimena, what option are you going to pick? Clear condition, mark an XP, +1 forward for your next roll, or gain insight from me about an obstacle facing one of you, which there really isn't one, so don't pick that.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and clear my frightened condition.
You have your friends with you.
It's true.
The
I'm not
power of
alone.
friendship.
Compels you.
As you're starting to walk that way, Parker, you hear from the hooded figure as they Serica, as they walk by you, just kind of says, "Too bad. Would like to see what you can do."
I'll show you what I can do later.
Jimena just like puts up a fist for Parker. Like that was good.
Are they gonna fight or are they gonna fuck? I can't tell.
It could be both.
I mean, you can do both. Oh,
You can
there we
do
go.
both.
Brains-
Parker, if you would like, would you like to try and figure a person out?
Yeah, sure, why not?
All right,
I'd
so
like
give
to
me a
know
roll
who the
plus
hell this
wit.
is. Okay, my wit's not that great. So Wood's gonna go ahead and do it anyway.
Yeah, wits is none of your strong suits except for Carmilla's has a bonus.
Ooh,
Ooh.
I dumped
I don't
intelligence.
figure shit out.
I'm going to give you
Hit me.
an option. They have either flustered you to the point where they're either going to take a string on you, or you're going to be just interested enough that you might be a little smitten with them. But that is very much up to you.
Ooh.
I'm not giving anyone any fucking strings on me. Are you kidding me? I'm smitten.
Yes.
And
yes.
with that, Parker, and it doesn't mean huge, connection emotion. It just, this person has intrigued you enough to where, as much as you might want to deny it and you're not showing it to them, there is this part of you that's like, the fuck is with this person?
I could never have a crush on you, Baka.
So with that, do any of you want to kind of, do any talk with anyone, check anything out before you get on your way to the courtyard in the College of Blades?
The
All
faster
right.
we get to this, the faster we
Yeah,
can get out of
same.
here, and I can.
Yep.
But if your date is a student, then, or your date's not a student, then
Another fist bump.
The courtyard is massive. It has gorgeous trees, gardens that seem to hang suspended in the air, and at the center of it all, there is a large statue of the one woman everyone at the academy is familiar with, and that is Enja Najir, who is the woman who 100 years ago unlocked the ability for people to manifest soul blades and led a group in defeating the Luminous 100 years ago, freeing the Thousand Worlds. And in her hand, she is holding, oh no, how did I forget the name?
The Alestra the Lightbreaker?
Yes, and beyond that statue is the main house, where on a balcony looking out over tens of thousands of students who are gathering here is a very tall, regal-looking woman known as Lady Valier. She has a beautiful dark complexion. She has some short cropped hair, and she is wearing a brilliant suit that is a combination of black, red, and white. She is, all of you would know that she has been the headmaster of this school for 50 years, which puts her in the age range of Grisha. She does not, while Grisha the Blade Master, she looks old, but in such good shape that 70 you feel like could be midlife for her. Lady Valier does not look whatever age she must be. She looks magnificent and holds herself with such presence that even from far away, just seeing her on this balcony is almost a little awe-inspiring.
do we know if she's a wielder?
Yes, Lady Valier is a known Soul Blade wielder.
Okay.
She is as the headmaster, she also is basically like the head wielder of the Thousand Worlds.
Wow. So she's the best of the best.
She's the ultimate mommy.
She's the
Yes.
last mom.
I was
The
just.
original.
She's the
going
final
to
mom.
say-
original and the alpha and omega.
Enya is the original, I guess, but she's the original.
Yeah, she is the person who Enja passed on the kind of leadership role to.
Okay. Direct successor.
And with all these people kind of talking this and that, Lady Valier kind of approaches the microphone and quietly just with that, everyone within seconds falls silent. She commands that much presence. And she looks out over everyone and says, "The stars have aligned as they did 50 years ago. And thus, for the second time in our unified history, it is my pleasure to announce that we will be holding a tournament of blades." And the crowd erupts. People go wild. And you all know that you are about to have one hell of a year.
A tournament of blades?
Tournament of blades. But of course, with ending a session in a Powered by the Apocalypse game, we
End of session
let's
moves.
go. End of session. So
Whoop, whoop.
every player. Each player will get to mark 1 XP for any one of these that is true. So first, did any PC confess their love? No. It's the first session. That'd be moving a little fast.
Even for no, never
I
mind.
mean, I have a move that allows me to do that, but I'm just not going to use it. Just why not?
Did any PC strike a blow against oppression or de-escalate a violent situation?
We did the opposite.
I was gonna say it was
Yeah.
more the opposite. Actually,
I
it was like
I
adding
escalated
fuel to the
immediately. It was
fire.
the first thing I did.
I love it.
Did any
Camera
PC
pans over. Escalate.
Did any PC leap into danger with daring and panache?
Pretty much all we did.
I would say so. I would say that you were all ready to leap in, and so please, everyone, mark 1 XP for that.
Oh, I didn't leap in on anything.
No, but you get as
I
long
think
as one person
everyone
did,
does
everyone
with
gains
TSL.
from that. You're a group, you're a unit, so if one person did something, you all get to benefit from it.
Lexi and I both
Cool.
did way too much, and it just averages out to everybody being.
It's true.
All right, I'll take it.
All right. And did any player use a safety tool such as the pallet or check-in card? We do. We didn't cover it on camera, but we do use a lines and veils, and so they're always going to get an XP for that because safety tools are extremely important, everybody. It doesn't matter who you are playing with, how many times you have played with them. Always, always, always be considerate of your fellow players and make sure that everyone is comfortable and having a good time.
Yay.
Lexi, did you
All
level
about
up?
respect.
I have
Got
4
to.
experience.
Oh,
How many
Ooh.
experience does it take to level up?
I think it's
5.
5.
So
See, if you
close,
hadn't
so close.
upgraded that 1-6 to a 7, you would have been there.
Right,
You would have been able
I would have
to.
been dead.
but it was the move. It was
True.
the move in the moment you had to.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
match would have ended, but it would have ended in a less impressive way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gotta do it for the story. Next session, it's fine.
Oh yeah.
A tournament of blades. Oh, what fun. But I wonder, does this blade have 1 edge or 2? Will our young heroes find victory? And if so, at what cost? For make no mistake, be it coin, blood, or something worth far more, there is always a cost.